Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WrestleMania! And we're kicking things off with the men's Money in the Bank match! And CM Punk is coming out first. Name a better way to kick off a WrestleMania than he on Coat of Personality blasting through these loudspeakers, and you see the best in the world, CM Punk, staring everyone down. CM Punk is a two-time WWE Money in the Bank contract winner, but he has never won one inside NTT. After making his NTT debut back in February, okay, made his in-ring debut in April, made his surprise debut in February at Rose Present Death Wishes. It's been an interesting year for CM Punk, and he found himself inside the Money in the Bank ladder match by defeating the ring general Gunther in what was a fantastic Money in the Bank qualifying match, by far one of the best ones yet. Gunther, however, did find his way into the Money in the Bank ladder match, as you will see later on, by defeating Adam Cole, Wesley, Lexus King, and Ilya Dragunov inside a gauntlet match on 0 hour this past Wednesday. Adam Cole came so close to running the gauntlet. She came very close to winning the gauntlet and going to WrestleMania to win the Money in the Bank briefcase, or to get a chance to win the Money in the Bank briefcase and cash in on a world champion of his choosing. But then he met Gunther, and Gunther put a screeching hold to Adam Cole's dreams of going to WrestleMania. But Will Ospreay's dreams of going to WrestleMania was never in paradise. Change that. Was never in trouble, because Will Ospreay has done a lot in NTT. It's done a lot, especially being the shortest ever champion of champions in history, with 4 days as champion. At least you were champion, so we'll give you that. On the flip side, his teammate Kenny Omega is challenging, or his teammate Kenny Omega won the Royal Rumble and is challenging was Explosive Matt Connors for the NTT World Champion later tonight. And then Kenny Omega's teammates, the Young Bucks, are taking on the CWO for the Defendence Tag Team Champions. So Will Ospreay's appearance at Mania was never really in trouble, because he can just show up in one of those two matches and help one of them. But he made himself into the Money in the Bank ladder match. So, bonus, I guess. You get to have a chance to win the world champion of your choosing. Speaking of world champions, Keith Oxley. If Keith Oxley wins this match, the Eccentrics officially they run NTT. Because, we need two things to happen tonight in order for the Eccentrics to run NTT. We need Keith Oxley to miraculously win this match and win the briefcase. On the flip side, we need Alex Young to survive and bury The Undertaker and retain the Undisputed Champion of Champions. If those two things happen tonight, they run NTT. There is no stopping them. Because if Keith Oxley wins that briefcase, he can either, so this is the least likely option, cash in for the Undisputed Champion of Champions, or the more likely option, cash in for the NTT World Champion. Then the Eccentrics have both World Champions, and if Jordan Samuels decides to go for the 0 Hour World Champion, and then they'll have all World Champions. But at the same time, this Money in the Bank briefcase, or the men's side of the Money in the Bank briefcase, doesn't have a great history, because the NTT MITV, yeah, has a 0% success rate. First winner, John Cena. Cash in 3 days later, and Alex Chen destroyed him, which was a dumb idea, dude, because the way Alex Chen can parade about that he defeated AJ Styles and John Cena in the same night, which is a very big accomplishment nonetheless, but still. Second winner, Sami Zayn, which we saw him cash in earlier this year at Forbidden Island, and kind of worked, not the way he wanted to, not at all how he wanted to, but he made him into the main event. So speaking of Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn cashed in. It was a dumb idea, but he cashed in during Matt Connors versus Kevin Owens for the NTT World Champion. Sami Zayn thought, oh, I beat Kevin Owens before. I can beat Matt Connors. No problem. So Matt Connors hasn't been in a triple threat match before. Easy peasy. I have. Nope, Matt Connors beat both of you. So, Sami Zayn has a chance at redemption. There's a chance to win the Money in the Bank briefcase again. Go be the first person to win it back-to-back years, and hopefully not be the first person to win back-to-back years and then fail to cash in back-to-back years. That is not part of the history books you want to be in. But nonetheless, he has a chance to make history tonight. Gunther, the original, is by far the most haunting. What's the word I'm looking for? Wrestler, figure, person, whatever way you want to go with it. Here, mainly because just look at him. He can chop. He can chop your chest into Christmas lights. And seeing how the majority of these, really every single one of these except for Gunther, are probably like light heavyweights at best. I mean, CM Punk is 219. No, he's around 220. So, I mean, he could classify as a heavyweight, but he's not really built like a heavyweight. So, Because when I think heavyweight, I think Gunther. That's what I think of. And this match is officially underway. And everyone's scattered. No one's in the ring. No one's going for the ladder. No one's going for the briefcase, which is great stuff. But Ethan Page decides, I'm all ego. I have the biggest ego here. Well, let's get the ladder first. And imagine if Ethan Page wins the Money in the Bank briefcase. That is something I do not want to think about. Because he already has a big enough ego as it is. And you add the Money in the Bank briefcase and the ability to be world champion whenever that damn well he pleases on top of that. Yeah, that's not a it's not a great idea to think about here. Oxley's busted open already. We're on like 2 minutes in this match, if that. And Oxley's already bleeding. Ospreay using the last weapon to make him bleed. Meanwhile, Sami Zayn is going up to Ethan Page, and CM Punk and Gunther going right back where they finished off a few weekends ago. Because clearly what we've seen, shooting star pressed by Will Ospreay into Gunther. Clearly what we've seen inside that qualifying match was just the start of Gunther and CM Punk. I am highly confident that we are going to see more of those two down the line. Don't know when, don't know where, but we're going to see more of them. I just know it. Now Ethan Page turns his attention back to Keith Moxley, which the blood is starting to come down fast on Moxley. Ospreay gets tossed into the ring, and CM Punk wins the ladder along with them. So in the win of the moment, Will Ospreay, Area Assassin, and the best in the world, CM Punk, with a ladder. And the only way to get that Money in the Bank briefcase is by climbing that ladder and unhooking that briefcase. One of these 6 competitors are going to be in the history books for either good reasons or the wrong reasons, but they're going to be in the history books nonetheless. Ospreay grabs the ladder again and throws it back outside. Ospreay does know he needs to climb that ladder to win, right? Because if you're just throwing him outside, you can't win the match! And Ospreay driving the head of CM Punk straight into that ladder. Over a step up, and Giulia, but didn't connect. Moxley puts the ladder into this, but Gunther goes outside the box and brings a kendo stick and just slamming across Sami Zayn's back. Make sure Zayn is not able to walk. Well, really, if you can't walk, you can't climb the ladder, but I mean, because your spine is a very important piece of your body. I mean, seeing CM Punk and Sami Zayn, because they're going at it right now, or they were, seeing those two go out in the future in a one-on-one match will be very entertaining. Because on one side you have someone who's been trying to win a world champion at any means necessary, trying to get back into that world title picture after failing the cash-in and failing his rematch, and failing his rematch of his rematch. And Icon is just on its whole other level with that NTT world champion. Then you have CM Punk, who got dismantled by Alex Young. So 2 victims of our 2 world champions at the moment. Hold on. Hold that thought. Avalanche Hurricane Rana by Will Ospreay. And Gunther puts an end to that quickly, as he wants no part of that. Seeing Gunther in a ladder match, I just thought of this. Seeing Gunther in a ladder match where you have Will Ospreay, who does flips. You have Sami Zayn, who can do flips. CM Punk, probably who doesn't do them much anymore, but he can do them. Ethan Page, been more grounded. Oxley, who's a powerhouse, not as much as Gunther, but a powerhouse nonetheless. And a Tiger Bomb onto the announce table. Will Ospreay is the human highlight reel tonight. He is putting everything on the line tonight because he wants. First of all, he doesn't want the Eccentrics to run entity. No, he wants the Hidden Angels to run NTT. Because if he wins that briefcase, and if Kenny Omega somehow defeats exposes Matt Connors, then they would be a very powerful duo, even though they haven't been great in taking competition. But nonetheless, powerful duo. We have a lot of bridge now. Honestly, I and Sami Zayn, all 6 competitors back in the ring. Is that Gunther bleeding now? Or is that just honestly blood going out? No, Ethan Page is now bleeding now, so there's 2 now. And Ospreay's bleeding. Everyone, you get some blood. You get some blood. Everybody starts bleeding. This match has been vicious. And the strange thing is, not a single one has decided to go for the briefcase so far. Nope, let's just beat the living hell out of each other. And first, and make sure each and every one of you cannot walk. And then I'll go for the briefcase. Because I want to make sure I own that briefcase. Make sure I am going to be the one to be the first one to successfully cash in that briefcase. I mean, the odds of winning this thing aren't great. Especially when you have Gunther in this match. You have Sami Zayn, who won last year. You have CM Punk, a two-time WWE Money in the Bank winner. You have Will Ospreay, a former, mind you, the shortest ever, but still a former champion of champions, and one of 3 people with an asterisk. It's more of 2, but so 3 people with an asterisk and more of 2 people to defeat Alex Young. Then you have a powerhouse of Keith Oxley, the powerhouse of the Eccentrics and Keith Oxley. Then there's Ethan Page. And CM Punk just got hit with a hidden blade. Well, okay, CM Punk's out for this match. He's out for a minute. And Ethan Page gets smothers. Will Ospreay and Gunther focusing right back, and Sami Zayn, Keith Oxley, decided, like, oh wait, yeah, I need to climb that ladder to win this match. So, but Will Ospreay climbing way quick, and then decides to float on air and drives Oxley's back right into the end of that ladder and gets right back up. Oxley refuses to stay down. But Punk has Ospreay. A 1-for-1 finisher. Punk gets hidden blade. Ospreay gets GTS. Oxley, finally, we have someone climbing that ladder. He has the briefcase in his hand. Can he unhook the briefcase? But Gunther is right on his tail. And Oxley was unable to do it with Gunther right behind him as he powerbombs Ethan Page hard to the mat. As you can see all around the ring, the effects of this match starting to show. Is with the blood all over the mat and all the inside and outside mats. The only 4 in the ring at the moment is last year's winner, 2-time WWE winner, former Undisputed Champions, and CM Punk. Oh, so, and, well, it was Keith Oxley, but now we're down to 3 as Ethan Page trying to give an ego's edge to Gunther, but Oxley with this chair now, he gets smothered with a chair and a ladder to his face. That's not going to help the bleeding at all. That's in fact make it worse. Getting a chair and a ladder thrown to your face at the same time. Ethan Page has Ospreay up, but Ospreay gets right back down, trying to focus on Oxley, but Oxley gets him before. An exploder suplex takes Ospreay out. Ethan Page is thrown out of the ring. And now CM Punk, Ospreay, and Gunther in a 3-way as Ospreay takes down the ladder and tries to take out Gunther, which is kind of a smart idea. You take out the strongest man in this match. It becomes a lot more easier because everyone else is damaged to the bone and or bleeding. So you got to think of alternatives, trying to throw the candlestick to Gunther's face, but that backfired miserably. Gunther tries to go after Ethan Page, but Oxley grabs the ladder from Ospreay, sets it right back up, and a Falcon Arrow to Oxley. She rolls to the outside. Ospreay climbing the ladder, looking to unhook the briefcase, looking to become Mr. Area Assassin in the bank. He's still trying to get it, but Oxley has his eyes on Ospreay. He climbs the ladder. So Oxley has Ospreay on the top. Someone else is bleeding, but I'm too focused on these two at the moment. Who's gonna fall first? These two are going teetering back and forth, and rights and lefts. Who's gonna fall off that ladder? Ospreay. No, Oxley. Oxley has Ospreay and a suplex and a kill switch. Oh, holy crap! Oxley putting everything on the line to showcase why he deserves more than just being a bodyguard, as he is now climbing the ladder. Everyone else on the outside, Ospreay knocked out cold. As Oxley's the only one standing at the end of the ring. He's on the ladder. And Oxley unhooks the briefcase. We have an outlaw as the next Money in the Bank winner. The eccentrics just get a lot more powerful. And Keith Oxley, you deserve it, my dog. You deserve that Money in the Bank briefcase. So the eccentrics got a lot more scary because they have a Money in the Bank briefcase winner on Keith Oxley, the current one. So he has until September 7th next year to cash that contract in. And we have Alex John with the undisputed champion of champions. Holy crap. But up next, we have the match that Niles has been waiting all day, and all year for. Ever since winning that Women's United States Championship, she's been begging and begging for someone high above, like a main event talent, to come on down and challenge her for her title. Because Niles has been up against some great superstars throughout the year and defending her title in some pretty good matches, especially defeating Iyo Sky at Undisputed Generations, which was a surprise to all of us, because we thought for sure Iyo Sky was going to win that then. But then, 2 weeks ago, after Niles defeated Tatum Paxley on Defendence, Giulia decided to show up out of the blue and stared out Niles. And Niles just nodded and looked at the WrestleMania sign, and they both knew what's in store for each other at WrestleMania. It's Niles, the White Widow, versus Giulia for the Women's United States Champion. And Niles knows. She knows deep down. Iyo Sky is one thing. But Giulia is a whole other level. She's a completely different ballpark. It's like you have the NHL, and then you have the Hall of Fame NHL, which is the greats of the greats. Really bad type of thing to use, but you get the idea I'm going with. Like someone going against Ethan Page, then you have John Cena next week. Those are two different ballparks. As we can see, Niles knew that deep down, and she is channeling her inner White Widow, and she is making it embrace even more, as we can clearly see the white is in fact taking over her hair, and she has much different gear as well, because she knows she needs to dig down a lot more deeper than she did against Iyo Sky, because Giulia is not gonna come down easy. She's not gonna be a walk in the park. If Niles wants to go down as one of the greatest Women's United States Champions in history, mind you, along that list, you have Giannis, you have Alexa Bliss, which hasn't really done much for the title, or did much of the title. Then you also have Lyra Valkyria, which that's a pretty good company to be with. And put Niles, and if Niles wins today, if she survives Giulia and retains that Women's United States Champion, she'll jump right to the top. Because she defeated one, and then like, if she wins, And if she survives Giulia, she can say she defeated one of the best international women's superstars out there. And this match it wasn't looking great for the White Widow, but she's realizing that Giulia is not going to be easy as everyone said it was. It's just coming out hard as she wants Giulia to do as well. Giulia brings Nia to the ropes and tosses her outside. Nia's won the title back in retaliation, and she was the only person to win, she was the only person for the title to change hands back in retaliation. Every other title was retained by their title was retained. He's still going back on the outside here, trying to use the outside as the advantage. Niles she thought she had Giulia, who she wanted to have to bring her back into the ring. But Giulia has her up in the fireman's carry and using the turnbuckle pad for snake eyes. And a messiah drop kick to the corner to win the United States champion. No, Niles is not going to go down that easy. Not even close. She went to war with Iyo Sky on Undisputed Generations. And the odds were highly stacked against Niles too. Because Iyo Sky, ever since winning that Intercontinental Championship, which we will see later tonight, as Iyo Sky places that IC champion on the line against Blair Davenport. But both of them after winning the title have been unstoppable. Have been on a roll. Especially Niles, because everyone overlooks Niles. But Niles, each time she's in the ring, she proves everyone wrong. She proves that she can hang with some of the best talents in the world, and tonight she's looking to prove the exact same thing. As Giulia is way above her level. Way above her level. And Niles back on top rope and a hook and run off the top, going for the pin to a 10th champion. One, no! Giulia kicks out a one. As Giulia is known all over the world and looking to finish Niles early in this one, perhaps 1, 2, almost a 2 count. Almost a 2 count. Still a 1. Somehow, Niles is staying in this thing, and she uses the power of the White Widow to sneak out behind Giulia before Giulia can finish Niles off. So Niles thinking ahead here. She's thinking of the future, knowing that Giulia could have had her right there. She could have had her, but no. No. These two in the top corner. And an avalanche suplex. A giant suplex connects. Off the top corner. Stomping Giulia's face off. Niles back in control. These two going back and forth since the opening bell. Niles looking for a stop perhaps, but Giulia sees coming. Has her up. Going for a driver perhaps. No. Niles had Giulia scouted, which was a very interesting thing. There's not much tape. There's not much tape in the back about Giulia since she's basically brand new. And a giant senton off the apron. These two going back on the outside, attacking the legs of Giulia. Giulia kicks Niles away, going for a running knee. Niles dodged it, now going right back to the legs of Giulia. Refs out of 3 count now. The only way for Giulia to win the United States champion is by pinning Osman and Niles in the ring, which a lot of people say it's an easy task, but as we've seen so far, It's not so easy. It's not easy as everyone thinks it is. Niles got the 6 count. Niles is on top. And a stop to the chest, caving in. The chest area of Giulia. These two going back and forth once again. Rights and lefts. Each one of them having a counter. Not a counter, but an answer for the other one. Giulia with the chops and Niles with the punch with the rights. No, that was a right by not Giulia, but a drop kick breaks it up by Niles. Giulia crosses over to the corner. Niles punches right back up. Perhaps going to look for another suplex. Is she looking for another suplex? Yes, she is. Looking for another suplex. And another giant suplex connects into Giulia. Niles is in complete control over Giulia. Calling her up. As up in the reverse fireman's carry. And the sleep breaker connects. Over. To retain the champion too. No! Giulia kicks out of 2. She kicks out of the sleep breaker. But Niles, it's not finished yet. Has her up and a poison connection connects. That's her right back up again. Not allowing Giulia any moment to breathe. Is she gonna hook it in? She's gonna hook it in. And with the arch, the widow's bite is now connected, and Giulia taps on the Niles. Niles retains the Women's United States Champion. Somehow, some way, Niles defeated the odds once again and retains the Women's United States Champion. I think it's pretty clear to say right now, Niles, the White Widow, has now made her way into the history books, not as a Women's United States Champion, but probably as one of the greatest Women's United States Champions in history. Speaking of history, it's now time for the Defendence Tag Team Champions, and this team of the CWO of the Eye of Danger, AJ Danger, and Gamer definitely put themselves in the history books for sure. Even before this match, because they've been a tag team since at least 2016, I believe. So they've been around for a hot minute, and every single year, except for 2020, they have held tag team champions together. They have been together. Danger did hold tag team champions in 2020, but not with Gamer, not with Matt Connors. He held them with Alex Young, because without that's a whole other conversation. And CWO are going to take on, are going to have a match with some people have been dreaming about. Some people have been hoping for this day to come, and it's finally here. The best of NTT of the tag division is going up against one of the best indie tag teams. Or not only India as of now, it's AEW, but I mean, it's still borderline. It's not WWE, okay? It's not WWE. Tag teams and the Young Bucks, which they are representing the Elite. Kenny Omega is the other half of the Elite, is facing Matt Cardis later tonight, which is the other member of the CWO. So in total tonight, it's the Elite versus the CWO. Mind you, split up in 2 matches, but it's still the Elite versus the CWO. And Game when Danger up and hold on to the CWO as a whole, because the Connors and Danger and Gamer both won the titles at New Year's Bash last year on December 30th. So here we are, September 7th, and we're very close to the 1-year mark for them. For both of them, honestly. But Kenny Omega as we'll get to him later on, seems more determined than ever to beat Matt Connors because it's becoming a challenge right now. If you put up anything against Connors, and he's defeated any and all challengers, especially a surprise might have been cashing, and he had to go in a triple threat match with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. But again, that's for later on. Is when Kenny Omega takes on Explosive Matt Connors for the NTT World Champion. As for right now, it's Defendence Tag Team Champions. It's the Young Bucks versus the CWO. The Young Bucks surprised, or with a really blindsided game on Danger after the win a few weeks back. But when the Young Bucks won their match against the Street Profits, the CWO, they didn't come out, they didn't blindside them. No, they played it honorable, and they just watched from the back, scouting to keep an eye on what happens throughout the match and see how they react to certain situations. Especially keep an eye on the Street Profits as well, because the Street Profits haven't had a whole lot of matches on NTT, and having your first match on NTT against Young Bucks, I mean, that's a challenge right there. And Danger's not allowing Matt Jackson to get cocky here. We're only like 4 minutes into this match, and this match is already breaking out. This is the definition of a CWO tag team match because, as if you've seen any of the matches with the Judgment Day, they like to bend the rules as much as they are willing to. Especially if the titles are on the line, because they're willing to do anything to keep those titles, to put their challengers away. And it's when they faced Priest and Balor, and also Priest and Balor's tag team titles now, but when they won the titles, the nearest bashers, Balor and Dominic Mysterio, they ended up, or more like Danger, ended up destroying Balor by putting him through the table, and then ended up repeating that again and put him through the table a second time. And the last time they met was at Undisputed Generations, this time AJ Danger kept a close eye on Gaming Priest because they're more of an evenly matched playing field. So, and Danger put Priest through the table, so Gamer can get the win over Finn Balor. And with that win, the defendants end up getting a point, and that point definitely ended up helping defendants win Undisputed Generations, and with them winning Undisputed Generations, they ended up getting the last 5 picks of the men's and women's Royal Rumble, which respectfully the winners were Kenny Omega and Cora Jade. As we get the Cora Jade match against Eli Punk later on tonight for the Women's World Championship. And also an added bonus to that, as I mentioned back at the Royal Rumble, they end up getting the first overall pick in the NTT draft, which is tomorrow. So stay tuned for that to see who they draft, see who the draft first overall. And last weekend, Defendants got their first signing, and they signed Eric Bischoff to be the brand new general manager of Defendants. Bischoff definitely has a lot of experience inside being his own work history inside the wrestling industry, so he's being tasked to bring Defendants back to a more level playing field with NOT, or go higher. And that all starts with the NTT draft, which is tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But back to the match here, seems like Matt Jackson is trying to steal uh, trying to cheat his way into a victory by removing the ring post. But if it wasn't for Gable, AJ Danger would have already been set loose already. This game was the more. He's the tame one in the group. Carnage is just there. He just does his own thing. Giulia is focused on winning back Undisputed Women's Champion, which she faces Young Blood and gets a chance to do that later on tonight. But AJ Danger is like the loose cannon. He does whatever the hell he wants to. It's Gable. He's the level one. He's the one that's keeping everyone in check. He's the one to make sure everyone's focused on their task. He's the core leader of the group. And while the referee is distracted, the Young Bucks are taking advantage of a cornered Gable and not allowing him to get up. And Matt Jackson tried to go for the tag, but ended up getting reversed. And seems like earlier, Gable got busted open. Went to a cover now, and Gable kicks out before one. It's going to take a lot more than that. Last year at WrestleMania, Gable was in the main event against Alex Young for the Undisputed Champion of Champions. And he only got that by pinning AJ Danger. There's a bit of history between Gable, Danger, and Young. But 1 year later, he's back in the tagging division, teaming up with his old partner, old friend, frenemy. She should put a line like that because there's a lot of history between these two. But they seem to put it aside to keep tag team gold. And speaking of Danger, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the Undisputed Champions right now. But he likes to have his eye of potential. If it wasn't for Danger, we wouldn't have Alex Young, Bandit. We wouldn't have the Devil, Young Blood. We wouldn't have them both running their own division. One the Undisputed Champions, one the Undisputed Women's Champion. So if Danger would have just stayed face, literally stayed face, and just stayed teamed with Gable and Connors, we would be living in an entire different reality right now without Bandit or the Devil. And speaking of the Eye of Danger with the Devil, she's taking on the fourth member of CWO tonight, and the Golden Ace, Young Ace, Matt Connors for the NTT World Champion. So there's a lot of gold inside the CWO, and if Danger and Gable retain those titles, hold on, is he looking for a Pandemic Crasher? No, he's not. He's just gonna bring them up and hold them up. If Danger and Gable retain those titles, and there's a lot of possibilities that could happen tonight. Speaking of possible, hold that thought. Danger is going to a special place. He cleared off the Spanish announce table, and Matt Jackson was trying to go for the 10 beats of the ballad, but Danger's like, yeah, no. No, the only person who can fuck balance damage on Gable is me. And Pandemic Crasher connects onto Nick Jackson. He has to focus on Matt Jackson now. What is he thinking of doing? He has the table. Matt Jackson reversed and dodged the table attack. He saved part of his career here. With Nick Jackson with a super kick in the back. Gable and Nick both entered the ring at the same time, both thinking kick at the exact same time. But Nick Jackson ended up getting a monkey flip on Gable. And this match has turned into the CWO specialty and has created all of chaos and Kiwi chokeslam through the announce table. AJ Danger flatlines Matt Jackson, and a pop-up Superman punch takes out Nick Jackson, and a blood money Shades of the Devil. And he tanks in Gamer. Matt Jackson's on the outside. Completely knocked out cold. And a seek and destroy connects by Gamer. Going for the cover. 1, 2, 3, and still your Defendence Tag Team Champions. The team of Gamer and AJ Danger. The CWO. Now the pressure is on Connors and Ace to bring home the rest of the Defendants Gold over to the CWO, or technically Connors just needs to retain the title and Young Ace needs to win the title. From person she's only beat once. But mind you, Young Ace is still in that category of only 3 people who have ever beat Youngblood. So she has Youngblood's number. Because if Youngblood can do the impossible and beat Youngblood and the Connors can retain the NTT champion, the CWO have all the gold on Defendants. Speaking of Youngblood, we're on to the title that she made famous, and that is the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Youngblood is easily the longest reigning champion in history, and she was the inaugural champion as well. And as she made that champion into what it is today, Blair Davenport failed at the Elimination Chamber at capturing the 0-hour Women's Champion. So she decides it's so much of a good idea, honestly. She could knock off one dominant champion, so she's gonna go off into NOT and try to knock off another dominant champion because she can't knock off one, so let's try another one. Genius move here, Blair. Genius move. Anyways, this whole feud with Iyo Sky and Blair Davenport all started back a few weeks ago. Iyo Sky took on Life Facaria on a live event. They put on one hell of a match, and during the match, Becky Lynch and Xia Li interfered in the match to try to help the respective person. Lynch for Facaria and Xia Li for Iyo Sky. So, naturally, Lita, the general manager of NRT, blinking here, the general manager of NRT, I'm like, okay, we'll do a tag match. But before that tag match could even happen, it ended up being a handicap match. Before the tag match even happened, Blair Davenport attacked Xia Li backstage to make it a 2-on-1 handicap match for Iyo Sky. And after the match, Iyo Sky came face to face with Blair Davenport. And from that point on, it was pretty much set in stone that, okay, you are my champion. I've had plenty of challengers throughout the year since I won this champion back at Rosebuds and Death Matches February. So you want to take a crack at it? Go for it. You knock off my friend and Xia Li, I'm going to knock your head off. So this match is once again for the Women's Intercontinental Champion. And Iyo Sky is not planning on losing that champion. I mean, I don't think anyone plans on losing the champion, let's be honest. But considering she's held it for this long, Blair Davenport needs to go deep in her repertoire to win the IC champion. Because we've had Youngblood, dominant champion. We've had Bayley for a week, then back to Youngblood. Then Dolan had it for a few months there before Tegan Knox won it for about 2 or 3 weeks. And then Iyo Sky's has it. And from that point on, it's just Iyo Sky dominating everything. Seems like the only person that has Iyo Sky's number is the Women's United States Champion, that's Niles. So it's kind of a good thing that Niles, as of this recording, she's on Defendance. So they were separated. They're not in the same brand, therefore they cannot go for the same title. I mean, they can at one of the big 4 pay-per-views, which is WrestleMania, New Year's Bash, and Final Showcase, which Undisputed Generation they then Flashman, so they don't really count that as them going for the title because they have the Flash for the title. It's best on best. But it seems like Davenport has been keeping an eye on Iyo Sky's business on NOT, and especially how Niles took care of Iyo Sky back at Undisputed Generation, so she wants to almost copy-paste that formula and come out right out of the gate against the champion and put her in a tough, between a rock and a hard place. But Sky wants to put Davenport away quickly with a quick cover here. No, Davenport kicks out before 1. And Iyo Sky has been, the only person she's lost to is Niles. And when the title's on the line, Iyo Sky goes in an entirely different place. Yeah. Is when you face a one-on-one, it's more of a love and play field. But if Sky's defending the champion, she's a different competitor. And the closest person to take that title away from her so far has been Fallon Henley, and that was an open challenge. That's an open challenge back in April, and Fallon Henley nearly took the title off Sky, but Sky ended up successfully defending the title. And here we are today, as she's defending it against Blair Davenport. Davenport knows she was in a title match last month at the Chamber, except the difference between last month and this month. Last month she was in a fatal 4-way, and in a fatal 4-way there's disqualifications off and countouts off. It's basically anything goes. And she lost. This time, it's a red glow one-on-one match. Disqualification is on and countout is on, so she needs to go back into the mindset of you cannot use weapons. You need to, the weapons are your fists and your legs. So you need to find a way to not get Iyo Sky enough to get a 3 count. As Sky goes to the place she made famous, and that's the top rope, and she completely misses an elbow drop. Davenport tries to go for an exploder, but Sky definitely has Davenport scouted. But just as I say that, Davenport has Sky out. So these two going back and forth for the Women's Intercontinental Champion, not allowing the other one to get an upper hand for too long here. Sky wants to retain the champion and go try to go 1 full year as champion. And as she sees Youngblood's record as a challenge, and she wants to try to beat that. Meanwhile, Davenport wants to prove that she belongs in the title scene, and she keeps going against champions to try to win gold. But throw going off the champion, she keeps failing, like Zoe Stark. So therefore, they would make perfect tag team called the Farriers, because you keep failing in big time matches. But Blair Davenport wants to prove that she's not a failure and she's not Zoe Stark, and to try to defeat Iyo Sky and win the Women's Intercontinental Champion. She has Sky grounded now, so that's a good start. Going for a chop fest. But Sky reverses the hard strike and a slingshot off the top rope, going for the cover. Just a 1 count, and Davenport kicks out. But Sky thinking here, but Davenport not allowing Sky to get anything going here. Pinches the corner and a hard uppercut. Takes Sky off her feet and rubbing the boot into the corner, choking Sky out. I'm And going for a Falcon Arrow onto the champion to win the IC champion. 1, 2. No! Sky kicks out of 2. I'm surprised we haven't seen Gal Matthews yet. Because back at the Royal Rumble, Davenport interfered in Gal Matthews' match for the Zero World Champion. And because she interfered, Matthews lost champ. She wasn't able to win the champion. As JC James still holds that championship. So I'm surprised we haven't seen Matthews there to try to return the favor. Even though Davenport tried to help Matthews and ended up costing Matthews. So surprised we haven't seen the other side of it so far. Going to the ropes, Davenport tries to go for a kick, but Iyo Sky with a well-experienced heel had that well scouted. Sky's calling for something, perhaps. Davenport is grounded. Sky is heading to the top rope, the place she feels most at home, and a massive connects to attain the Intercontinental Champion. 1, 2, 3. Iyo Sky retains the Women's Intercontinental Champion, and her reign continues. So both the Women's Mid-Card Champions, the IC and the United States Champion, hold on to their championships. Very interesting indeed. The pressure is on for Alex Young. He says he's not scared of the Undertaker. It's time to really back up those words. As many who have come to this point and stare down the Undertaker at WrestleMania have failed. Then this is for the undisputed champion of champions. The championship, the title that Alex Young calls his baby. And he is willing to do anything and everything to keep anyone away from it and anyone from holding it. But the dead man wants to prove that Alex Young is a load of crap. She's been taking over legends for the past few weeks. He's taken over John Cena in quite easy fashion. He took out Hulk Hogan and successfully defended the championship against the immortal Hulk Hogan on Thursday. Here we are again 2 days later, and he's defending the champion again, this time in a casket match against the Undertaker. This is probably the most Alex Young has worked in a while, especially basically back-to-back championship matches. I mean, he worked back-to-back matches in Undisputed Generation, but neither of those matches were for the title. He went up against AJ Danger, and the title wasn't in line. He went up against Matt Hardy's, title wasn't in line. But this time it's different because he went against Hulk Hogan and defended the title, and now he's going against the Undertaker and defend the title again. This time in the match, the Undertaker, it's a specialty. Undertaker hasn't won a whole lot of casket matches, but he's been in the vast majority of them. So it's always a treat to see the dead man back at WrestleMania. For Alex Young, this is a completely different ballpark. You're up against not only a legend and a Hall of Famer in this industry, but you're also going against the judge, jury, and executioner of the locker room. You throw dirt at the legends of the past, you suffer the consequences. And you will go up against the Undertaker. And Alex Young likes to showcase and tell that he is the best of the best, that he is the bandit, that he is the undisputed champion of champions for a goddamn reason. This is definitely the time to prove it. You're not the main event, which is one thing to prove that because he's probably fed up that he's not the main event. And now you have to go against, now you have the defending title again.
Here we go, guys.
But Alex Young, like he typically does, wants to take any and all challenges and knock them down. He still has his goons in the back on the key locks. He's supposed to going to banish up for that amazing men's Money in the Bank match that opened up the show, and that he won the briefcase. Something to keep in mind as well, because if Undertaker does somehow defeat Alex Young and go into the history books as not only a WrestleMania legend, but as the person to defeat Alex Young, I mean, that's going to be something there already on its own. But you also have Keith Moxley with them on the main briefcase to try to bring back the Undisputed Champions if Young loses it to the Eccentrics. We also have John Samuels, who is completely healthy. He hasn't done anything today so far. He could step in and help Alex Johnny if he gets in a tough place. Even though this is the Undertaker, this is also an older Undertaker. This isn't Undertaker from like 2009, 2010, like prime Undertaker. No, this is Undertaker who's just got sick and tired of seeing Alex Young run his mouth and tell everyone that he's better than them just because you hold a world champion. Not just any world champion, the Undisputed Champions. And that he's held that since April 8, 2023. It makes it a grand total of 518 days as champion. And now here comes the casket. So it's pretty simple. The only way to win this match is by putting your opponent into the casket and closing the lid on them. Alex Young claimed that he is going to put an end to The Undertaker once and for all and put him in the history books and leave him there for good. There's no more Undertaker. There's no more history of the dead man. There's no more nothing about the past. Alex Young claims that he is the future, the past, the present, and the future, and that everything around NTT revolves around him and the Eccentrics. Well, he Moxley won the briefcase. If he knocks down Undertaker, that's a major tick on his checklist of being one of the GOATs in this industry. GOAT and future Hall of Famer, guaranteed, because man, he already knocked off Will Ospreay. He knocked off Kenny Omega. He knocked off John Cena twice. He knocked off AJ Styles several times. He knocked off Matt Connors. He knocked off Gamer. Knocked off AJ Danger. The list of Roman Reigns going through, the list of people that Alex Young has defeated as champion. It's so long, but it was so impressive. And Undertaker pulling up some mystic judo stuff there, but seems like he didn't want to go in his favor. But I was saying, like, the list is so long and impressive. I was like, okay, who could possibly beat this guy? Who could possibly beat the Bandit and take that undisputed champion of champions away from him? Well, the Undertaker hasn't fought Alex Young yet. He did show Alex Young that he has his number by chokeslamming him on NRT after defeating John Cena. Money the Central is right there to back him up and to take down Undertaker. When Undertaker tried to do it again on Thursday, Alex Young rolled out the win. And he saw Undertaker. He knew he was coming. And so she was like, no. You stay back. I'm not scared of you, but you stay back. And I'll see you Saturday. Seems like Alex Johnson waiting for this as well. Ever since he wants to bring the payback of that choke slam a few weeks back. and wants Undertaker to have his receipt. And it's been going Alexander's favor so far. Minus a few hiccups here and there, because Undertaker's using that casket as a weapon and damaging Alex Young. For all we know, if Alex Young lands the wrong way in that casket, he could lose his smile. He could lose his smile and end up dropping the undisputed champion of champions and have to take some time off. But we know Eric Bischoff and Lita are keeping a very close eye in this match, because last year Alex Young went first overall by a landslide. I mean, the gap between him and Jan Ace, I believe, who went second overall, it was a distance. It was a fair distance. I was like, okay, Alex Young is going first overall, clear as day. This year, Alex Young has, even though he's been competing a bit more, but also he hasn't put the title on the line a whole lot. So maybe that could take a bump in his draft stock. Who knows? Let's see what we can find out what Bischoff and Lita have in mind, because Bischoff does have the first overall pick, so that's a good thing for him. So that's a thing for Bischoff to keep in mind, is that throughout this year, Alex Young has made it crystal clear that he sees Defendence as the B show. And NXT is the flagship show. And he had to get persuaded by Youngblood, by his former Rising Evil teammate, and still kind of his on and off again teammate, to go to Defendence to knock off Matt Connors. When there was the mixed match, the mixed tag match back in April, when we kicked off WWE 2K24. But if there's someone that knows and seen different wrestlers of the past and have knocked off different wrestlers of the past, the egotistical ones, the legend killers, the rated R superstar, an animal, hell, he even knocked off a demon. And that's the Undertaker. Undertaker has knocked off everyone who's come across him. He's even knocked off a Superman. But Alex Young claims he is different. He claims that he is not like everyone else. Because as I said earlier, he says everything runs through him, that he is the past, present, the future, and with that running knee, that running knee right there, it's going to make Undertaker see his past, as he has a kendo stick now, and he wants to make Undertaker see his past and relive it. As unlike other people, unlike Triple H, who he fought in a street fight, unlike Ric Flair, who he made bleed like crazy, unlike the Hell in a Cell match he was in, Alex Young is throwing weapons at him now, but he also has a running knee that is so deadly that very few have kicked out of before. The list is very small. But now they're both bleeding. This match is definitely taking a toll on each other. Maybe in the back of each other's minds. Definitely in the back of Alex Young's mind. Perhaps he's probably regretting accepting this match. But also he wants to prove that he is the bandit. That anything can. He's willing to take on any and all challengers. Doesn't matter who the hell they are. Whether they are past so-called legend and Hall of Famer, or even if someone just wants to make a name for themselves, he wants to take them down and show why he is the undisputed champion of champions. And now he is a shovel. Alex Young using a metal shovel against the Undertaker. Seems like some blood's already on that shovel in response to the attacks on the Undertaker. And Jan waiting patiently, or more like impatiently, with a chair inside that ring. But Undertaker wants to take it one step further and get in the steel steps. But it's changed his mind. He enters the ring and then Jan throws the chair right out of his face. A very weak throw, not nonetheless for Undertaker, using his powers of the dead man to go behind him and chuck Alex Jan back onto the casket. And Jan getting right back up, feeling the effects of the casket and going right back into the ring. Undertaker choosing to stay face and not cheat to win. And with the double super kicks to Undertaker, he's back on the ground, back in the mat, with the blood starting to take effect off the Undertaker. He just dodges the shovel. I feel like we're back inside the Mind the Bank match from earlier when blood was going everywhere. So one thing Keith Lashley and Alex Jan can bond over is that they both shed a crap load of blood inside their match at WrestleMania in 2024. So far only Keith Lashley has been successful. We're still processing to see if Alex Jan's going to survive the Undertaker. Seems like right now, it seems like as of this moment, he definitely has the Undertaker's number. As he steps now, Undertaker's trying to get something going here, but he can't even get up. He can't even get on his feet. Alex Jan has to help him out as he rams him into the casket as well. But Jan opens up the casket, perhaps thinking of finally ending the Undertaker, but no, he closes back the casket and taunting the Undertaker and the NTT universe. As everyone is cheering for Undertaker to put Alex Jan in his place. But Alex Jan is trying to go the extra mile to make sure Undertaker never competes inside a wrestling ring ever again. Jan gets tossed another time onto that casket. Undertaker truly using that casket as a weapon. Jan trying to fight back against Taker, but this time avoids being thrown to the casket another time. These two going back and forth. Rights for rights. No, this time Alex Jan seeing that coming by Undertaker, but he responds with a hard right. But Alex Jan bring the rights back and forth to the dead man. But the Bandit tries to just take him off his feet, and he does with a wicked clothesline. It's heading over to the casket and opens up the lid. Perhaps thinking of finishing off the dead man. He's going for it. Super running knee takes out the dead man. He brings the dead man over to the casket. That super running knee knocks out everyone. No one's been able to kick out of it yet. And the Undertaker is added to the list of people Alex Jan have defeated, especially with the super running knee, as he successfully retains the undisputed champion of champions. And he puts his name in the history books as one of very few people to defeat the dead man at WrestleMania. And what he claims to happen, or what he claims that he wanted to happen and do, he is doing just that. He came to WrestleMania, successfully defend the champion of champions at back-to-back nights nonetheless, and he buried the dead man, closed the lid on the dead man's career, and put him away for good. And from one casket match, we move right on over to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Gigi Dolan was the first one to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match, and she defeated a former Women's Money in the Bank winner and Shayna Baszler. As we went through with the men's one, the women's Money in the Bank winning percentage, like you cash in successfully percentage, is at 100%. The first winner was Shayna Baszler. She successfully cashed in on the 0 Hour Women's Champion. Last year was Cora Jade. Then she lost the briefcase, Eli Punk. But then 30 minutes later, after winning the briefcase, Eli Punk cashed in that briefcase to become Women's World Champion. And that feud started, they really kicked off WrestleMania last year, and it comes full circle. It's still to come tonight. Eli Punk, the outcast Eli Punk, would look to defend the Women's World Champion against Cora Jade. One thing I find kind of strange in a way is that last year Undisputed Generations, with the inaugural Undisputed Generations, as I'm just going to call them the main four from here on out, because it just makes it a whole lot easier than just saying the original, or you can call them the original four. Actually, yeah, that's what we can call them. We can call them the original four. So much easier to call them that. Last year, at Undisputed Generations, the original four, between Dakota Kai, Zoe Stark, and Gigi Dolan, all fought in the inaugural Undisputed Generations, the round robin tournament part of it, to try to crown the first ever undisputed women's champion and women's world champion, which the women's world champion ended up being a bigger deal than everyone thought it was going to. But the undisputed women's champion has been put on a whole different level. Because not only did you have to go through an entire tournament to win that champion, but he also had to, also the championship, undisputed women's champion, main event in several pay-per-views. And the original four, Kai, Dolan, Stark, and Ace, Ace, were all in that tournament, and 3 out of the 4 are in the Money in the Bank ladder match 1 year later. As the other one is competing for the Undisputed Women's Champion and trying to make history, and it's the first ever 2-time Undisputed Women's Champion, and to close out the trilogy with her and Youngblood. The only reason that Ace has got that match is because she defeated Gigi Dolan and Dakota Kai in an open contract triple threat match. And since at the Elimination Chamber, Cora Jade made it crystal clear by using a Money in the Bank briefcase, last year's briefcase, to attack Eli Punk and to make it clear that she wants the Women's World Champion. Youngblood came on Defendence the night after with an open contract. Whoever wants to face me in WrestleMania, come and get it. Dolan, Kai, and Ace all answered the request, but on the contract, it was only for a one-on-one matchup. So, they had a triple threat match. So once again, the original 4 met, or original 4 minus Zoe Stark, met in a matchup, and Ace, the one with the most experience inside the group, and also the one who's been champion before, got there. And she got there by making Dakota Kai tap. top of the 13th takeover. Meanwhile, Gigi Dolan, which is over there, knocked out unconscious. But Dolan has had a very, really, Dolan and Kai has had a very interesting past 2 months. Because they were both in the Elimination Chamber together. Both were unable to win, obviously, as Eli Punk successfully retained the Undisputed Woman, not the Undisputed Women's, the Women's World Champion, successfully Women's. Eli Punk successfully retained the Women's World Champion. There we go. Said it. And the last one she pinned to win that, to retain the champion, was Gigi Dolan. And Gigi Dolan wasn't pinned inside the triple threat match on the night after. Also, to be fair, it would have been way to pin Dolan because she was the final person to be eliminated inside a elimination chamber, which is a very deadly, not deadly, but painful matchup to be in. Kai was also in that as well, so it was a pretty, I'm not saying easy win, because no win is ever easy, but pretty, how can I word this? I mean, Yanez was definitely a lot healthier than Kai and Dolan, because she was not competing at the Elimination Chamber, or even in the Elimination Chamber, so that's a bonus there. So Stark and Charlotte Flair were both competing against each other at the Elimination Chamber, so it's interesting that they made it both into the Money in the Bank match together. That's also an interesting fact as well. So there's definitely a lot of connections inside this match between past and really just the past and present of sorts. Stephanie Stratton was also in the Elimination Chamber. She's definitely someone that I would keep an eye on the draft, because between Lita and Eric Bischoff, there was definitely a lot of potential in Tiffany Stratton. And she definitely made it clear that she is focused on trying to win a world champion and NTT, and winning the Money in the Bank briefcase is a fast thing to do it, especially since the winning percentage is 100%. I mean, you better watch Keith Oxley, so I mean, just following the facts here. The facts right there, just need to spit them out. Becky Lynch only got in by the last chance match, which she won yesterday on NXT as a last chance women's battle royale. And if it wasn't for that, we would probably have someone else different. Gal Matthews came very close to being inside this match, as she was the last one eliminated. Having Matthews compete at Rumble, at the Royal Rumble, then compete at the Elimination Chamber, then compete at WrestleMania, then she would complete the triple threat of big time matches. But she lost by the Warrior, and she's not on the card. So, I mean, sucks for you, Matthews, honestly. But there's always next year. It's always next year. And who knows what's going to happen next year. Perhaps we see the original 4 inside a 4-way for a women's champion, or it comes full circle, or something. But this next year is next year. And so right now, we need to find out who's going to be in this Money in the Bank. Dakota Kai got cashed in on at New Year's Bash, and that's how she lost to Women's World Champion by the Money in the Bank briefcase. Dolan's just desperate to get a championship because, as I mentioned during Blair Davenport match, she keeps losing big-time matches. So if Zoe Stark wins the briefcase, I mean, it's probably a decent chance. It could be a good bet to say she's probably going to lose the cash-in. But again, the odds are 100%. So I mean, anything can happen here with the cash-in. Devin Stratton wants to win a woman. All of them, everyone here wants to win a women's champion. Charlotte Flair has yet to win a world champion in NTT, as I mentioned back at the Elimination Chamber. Becky Lynch main evented last year's WrestleMania, and I thought Dakota Kai is going for the briefcase. Becky Lynch is right on her ass, and climbs up the ladder as Dolan knocks them both off the ladder. As I was saying there, Becky Lynch was in the main event last year at WrestleMania, and last year she tried to defeat Giulia to try to win the Defendence Women's Champion and the Women's United States Champion, as Giulia was putting them both on the line for the second time ever. And in the year before that, so 2022, at that WrestleMania, she was defending the Defendance Women's Champion against the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble winner, Youngblood. So Youngblood and Giulia definitely have a history with Becky Lynch. One person challenged the title and beat Becky Lynch for the champion, that's Youngblood. As the other one defeated Becky Lynch and retained both her championships in her hometown in the main event. I mean, it can't get any cooler than that. You main event WrestleMania in your hometown, successfully defend the Women's World Champion and United States Champion. And 2023 was definitely the summer of young Ace. And Zoe Stark definitely played a big part in that. Because if it wasn't for Zoe Stark, we would have a completely different summer. Because young Ace grew tired of Zoe Stark and put her on the sidelines after during Undisputed Generations. As in the finals for the Undisputed Women's Champion, it was Stark and Ace once again. This time it was in a Hell in a Cell match because the referee just kept on growing and growing and growing, and they wanted to put an end to it. So they put in a Hell in a Cell match, and Giulia was like, enough of Zoe Stark, so she put her on the sidelines with an injury for 3 months. And Zoe Stark returned in January to come back for the Tundra Takeover match. This match has been all out carnage so far, but not as bad as the men's. I'll go with that. Definitely more people realizing, oh yeah, we need to climb the ladder to get the briefcase. So if we've had Dakota Kai and Becky Lynch to try to get that Money in the Bank briefcase. But so far, none of them have been able to unhook it, which is the way you need to win this match, by unhooking the Money in the Bank briefcase. And Dolan's just basically keeping charge of the ring and knocking anyone out of the ring and dodging that big spinning elbow with a GT driver onto Charlotte Flair. It's her head landed directly on the ladder. Meanwhile, on the outside, Becky Lynch and Dakota Kai will target Zoe Stark with the ladder. If Zoe Stark can get another ladder, okay. We have 4 ladders in this match. We don't need a 5th. You only need 1 to climb to get the briefcase. You don't need 4. You just need 1. That's the only way. We can have one of those spots where 4 ladders and each one has 2, then you compete and try to push the other ladder off. It's always a cool visual. But we need a Money in the Bank winner. I don't care how we get it, we just need one. So it's kind of interesting that the women's Money in the Bank match is happening before. But it's not really interesting. That's in the middle of the card. But it's intriguing that it's happening before both women's matches, as Women's World Champion and the Undisputed Women's Champion is happening later on. It's still to come, as this match is happening before that. So we could see a cash in perhaps. I mean, Keith Oxley's. I mean, by the time the NXT World Champion match comes between Matt Connors and Kenny Omega, I mean, Oxley could be healed up enough if you wanted to cash in on one of them. Depends how badly they go at each other. But I mean, that's always that possibility. If Becky Lynch gets tossed out, Becky Lynch can't really stay in this match, can she? Every time she comes in this ring, she gets knocked back out. And Dolan going for the briefcase, just gets popped right back up and trying to go for the briefcase, but Zoe's dog pushes Dolan off. And once again, we're back to the original 4, minus Yanez. And during that round robin tournament, JJ Dolan didn't win a single match. She was basically target practice for Dakota Kai, Zoe's dog, and Yanez. But because of the way it worked out, Dolan still had a chance to try to win the Women's World Champion. As the last match of the weekend of the tournament was the undisputed Women's Champion between Zoe's dog and Yanez. Since Ace won the tiebreaker, and Zoe's dog won the most matches and had the higher time. So, but because the way the tournament worked out, Dolan had a chance to win the Women's World Champion. All she had to do was pin Dakota Kai, and she was unable to do that. But right now, she has a chance to redeem the past and to unhook the briefcase. No one is in the ring with Gigi Dolan, and she is all alone, and she doesn't. Gigi Dolan looks to redeem the past, and she is the new Money in the Bank winner on the women's side. So she's the new Miss Money in the Bank. It's Gigi Dolan. What a very fascinating, really 2 months. It's been a month and a half. It's been for Gigi Dolan. Coming so close to winning the Women's World Champion, then getting eliminated last. Not being pinned inside the triple threat match tonight after. But then, you fast forward a few weeks, and she defeats Shayna Baszler, a former Money in the Bank winner, to get into this match, or into that match, and then wins it. Now Dolan only has one thing left to do, and that's pick the perfect time and cash in that briefcase to become Women's Champion. Kenny Omega looks to defy the odds again on the men's side. It's the odds for the men winning the Royal Rumble and going on to WrestleMania to win the World Champion of whatever one they chose is at 50%. The only person who has successfully done it, Gunther won the Rumble last year and lost to Edge. Then Jeff Hardy won the Rumble in 2022, and he went on to defeat Rey Mysterio to win the Defendence World Champion. But then I just noticed now, as I'm recapping the winners of the Royal Rumble, is that all 3 of them, Omega, Gunther, and Jeff Hardy, have all went for the Defendance World Champion. In this case, the NTT World Champion, which is basically the Defendance World Champion, since Matt Connors over here, Explosive Matt Connors, ended up merging the Defendance World Champion with the WWE Champion to become the NTT World Champion. And Connors won the Defendance World Champion at New Year's Bash last year, and he's having one incredible run with the NTT World Champion. And every person who has stepped up to the plate to try to take down Connors, he has brought them right back down to reality and to show them that his 630 cannot be stopped. Especially once he does the combo of the photo breaker into the 630, it is over. He beat Damian Priest to win the champion, then beat him again in his first defense. He ended up facing Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the same night. Sami Zayn tried to cash in the briefcase to win the championship. It backfired because he ended up making it harder for him. Because when you cash in the briefcase to make it into a triple threat match, your odds of winning the champion have gotten slimmer. Because if it's one-on-one, it's about 50-50. But if the person you're facing is also badly damaged, like how Seth Rollins cashed in at WrestleMania, at WrestleMania 31, and he picked the perfect time because Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns killed each other. So he came in fresh as a daisy, or nearly fresh as a daisy, and cashed in that way. It's Kenny Omega here is more fresher than Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens was inside that three-way. And as to go in, Connors had no idea how Sami or Owens responds to Connors. As right now, this is the rematch between Connors and Omega. First time these two met was over in Japan when Connors placed the Scale Champion on the line against Kenny Omega. And throughout the entire match, Omega had Connors. Then once Connors hit that 630, it was done, and Connors retained the championship. Connors ended up losing the Scale Champion over to Nathan Frazier, which ended up becoming, which they ended up merging it into the Countdown Champion. That's another person to watch out for in the draft, is to see where Logan Paul is going to end up going inside the NTT draft tomorrow. And kicking things off, well, in early in this matchup, it seems like Omega and Connors have each other scouted, dodging each other in it, and going blow for blow. We're only early into this matchup, but I feel like we're going to be in for a treat between these two. You have someone who's been unstoppable whenever they hold championship gold. He's held the most skill champions in NTT history. Omega going for the moonsault, did not connect. He's had the most skill champions in NTT history. He won match of the year last year at WrestleMania against JD McDonough in a ladder match for the scale champion. Hold on, going for the cover to retain the champion, but Omega kicks out early. He was already a break. He's already a main eventer last year, but last year he truly made himself known on NTT, but having banner after banner after banner after banner. It's just constantly good matches. And even at Inferno War inside War Games, when it was the Judgment Day versus the CWO, he still ended up making it into an absolute banner. But Omega has a long history of banners as well, and Omega is only one of two people. No, so wow. If we're talking one-on-one competition here, one of two. If we're talking in general, then one of four, because the Young Bucks beat him. So, man. So in one-on-one competition, Kenny Omega is only one of two people who actually beat Alex Young. As Omega is also a former champion of champions. So if Omega wins today and he somehow wins the NTT World Champion and finally dethrones Explosive Matt Connors, he will go down in the history books as well as the only person in history to hold the Champion of Champions and the NTT World Champion. I mean, Omega wants to make history, and knocking down two dominant champions is an easy way to do it. But also, to be fair, a win is a win over Alex Young. Doesn't matter what it is. And speaking of Alex Young, he's coming to playing his music. He's trying to cost Kenny Omega the NTT World Champion. He doesn't like Matt Connors, but he hates Kenny Omega even more. The history between Omega and Young go all the way back to AEW when Alex Young made his world tour It goes all the way back to there. And now he's trying to cost Kenny Omega the NTT World Champion. Holy crap. Honestly, he's not a fan of Alex Young either. But, I mean, if he can retain his champion and walk out of WrestleMania once again holding gold, he'll take it. He'll easily take it, and he will go on and help the CWO etch the name in the history books even more. As earlier tonight, Gamo and AJ Danger successfully retained the Defendence Tag Team Champions against the Young Bucks. But Omega, thinking something explosive here, pun absolutely intended, and a Super Hurricane Rana knocks down Connors, going for the cover to win the NTT Champion 2, and Connors kicks out at 2. But Connors gets right back up. Some back and forth chops to the chest area, but Connors using his legs as weapons here. But once again, these two know each other well. And now they're going blow for blow, rights for rights. But the exhaustion on Matt Connors starting to take effect as Kenny Omega is just blocking every single shot, or every shot that Connors is trying to give. And now with an uppercut takes Connors off his feet. Omega calling for Connors to get up. Has him, hooks the arms. And a power driver connects. Picking him up again. Going for the power driver again. And it connects. Once again, back-to-back power drivers on explosive. Matt Connors, 1, 2, and we have a new NTT World Champion. Connors has finally been dethroned. And Matt Connors, what a round of applause. You made this championship into something else. And Omega is looking to carry on the legacy of the NTT World Champion into this new era of NTT. Definitely safe to say that Kenny Omega winning the NTT Champion is going to change the effect of the draft, which is tomorrow. But from one Royal Rumble winner to the next, Cora Jade looks to get her revenge on Eli Punk, and she's playing mind games with Eli Punk as well. As last year at New Year's Bash, when Eli Punk won the women's, when she won the women's Money Bank briefcase, she had teal and white / gray attire. Tonight at WrestleMania, Cora Jade is wearing teal and white attire to try to play some mind games with the Outcast. So a little bit of history lesson with back in April last year. Cora Jade went up to management and she helped bring in Eli Punk because they're best friends from Chicago. So Eli Punk did some training matches, and then she ends up getting signed, and they become NTT Women's Tag Team Champions together. Then the Elimination Chamber last year, Eli Punk has a breakout match, but they lose the Tag Team Champions to the Unholy Union, Aladon and Alba Fire. Then one month later, Cora Jade uses the stipulation of every woman for herself and attacks Eli Punk to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Skip ahead 3 months to New Year's Bash. where it's Eli Punk versus Cora Jade for the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase. Eli Punk beats Cora Jade to get that to earn the briefcase. 30 minutes after that match, Eli Punk cashes in the briefcase on Dakota Kai and makes the match between Dakota Kai and Alexa Bliss into a triple threat match for the Women's World Champion. And Eli Punk successfully cashed in that briefcase to become Women's World Champion. Here we are today, just about 1 year later from when Cora Jade officially turned on Eli Punk. And they're back to back facing each other one-on-one. But this time it's not for the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's for the Women's World Champion. Cora Jade made it crystal clear that she was going after Eli Punk when after Eli Punk went through a brutalizing Elimination Chamber match and given up the sixth pick, or the final pick, to go early in the draft to prove, not the draft, and go early inside the chamber to prove that she deserves to be champion. Because even though she's been champion since December last year, she's still on the grind to try to prove people wrong. And she even ended up putting Gigi Dolan through one of the pods. But right after that match, during her celebration, Cora Jade blindsides the Outcasts with a Money in the Bank briefcase and basically just writes it out on paper that it's going to be Cora Jade versus Eli Punk at WrestleMania. Here we are, co-main event of the night for the Women's World Champion. This is round 2 between these two. And first match into Eli Punk last year, December. Now September has come around. The biggest stage there is in professional wrestling. Cora Jade is letting all out on that pent up rage and just throwing it at the Outcasts. But these two should know each other quite well, considering they won tag team champions together and held it for, I believe, 3 months. That's a decent run with the tag team champions. And Cora Jade is still angry that if Eli Punk would have just stayed in the shadows, they could probably still be tag team champions today. But no, she wouldn't have a breakout performance. And because of that, they end up losing the titles. Cora Jade knows. She knows deep down, if she would have still had the briefcase, she would be women's champion right now. Undisputed women's or women's world, doesn't matter. She would be women's champion right now. And she is letting all that anger go. And not allowing Eli Punk to get anything going. These two did meet after New Year's Bash, and that was inside a triple threat match at Tender Takeover, but it wasn't one-on-one. I mean, there's a triple threat elimination. They did end up meeting one-on-one, but isn't this kind of not counted inside the sequence of matches? I mean, it's in the history books, but you add a triple threat to a one-on-one story. But Eli Punk has been knocking off any and all challengers throughout her run as women's champion. She even survived an elimination chamber with former champions inside that match as well. Former tag champions and world champions. And she went the distance with the devil herself, Youngblood, which is still to come tonight. And even though, hold on a second, cover, and Cora Jade kicks her before 1. And even though Eli Punk went the distance. Trying to defeat Youngblood, you need to be on a different level. You need to be performing at a peak difference. Even though Eli Punk has been getting stronger as this title run has been going on and getting better in the ring as her career progresses. Someone like Cora Jade, who's been friends with Eli Punk throughout her entire life, she knows what can make Eli Punk tick. She knows what Eli Punk is capable of. But I mean, Eli Punk beat Cora Jade early in her career. Now, it's still quite early in Eli Punk's career, but we're at a different stage, because when Eli Punk came in, she was in her rookie year. Now, when her second year in the company, and she's been women's champion for almost a year now, and she's looking to knock off her best friend, or her former best friend, once again to hold on to the women's world champion. Cora Jade connects with some sliced bread to win the women's champion too. No, Eli Punk kicks out. But it seems like throughout this match, Eli Punk can't get anything going because Cora Jade has been just full of rage, trying to go for the Outcast, for Operation Outcast. With Cora Jade forced in. Now Jade's against the ropes, and it seems like Eli Punk's finally starting to get something going for herself here, using the ropes to strain back the muscle of Cora Jade. Eli Punk misses the springboard and trying to fight back to stay into this matchup. And she's trying to drag Jade to the corner. But Jade has her back in the gravel and sends her to the corner. And while Eli Punk's corner, she's just letting out everything onto the Outcast. But once again, Punk's going for the springboard. Didn't connect, but double on DDT connects onto the Outcast. Cover. 1, 2, no, wait, hold on. She is not letting Eli Punk go down with just one double arm DDT. She is not letting him go down that easy. Going for it again. Double hook DDT connects once again in the center of the ring. 2, 3, and we have a new Women's World Champion and Cora Jade. And it's 1 year ago she wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, and 1 year later she defeats her former best friend to win the Women's World Champion. Safe to say, her draft stock is definitely going up now. But it's also safe to say that in the main event, these two competitors have a rich history. And their draft stock are definitely not going to take a hit no matter who wins or who loses. As that's the end of a trilogy tonight. In the main event of WrestleMania, it's for the undisputed Women's Championship. And it's between the Golden Ace, Young Ace, and the devil herself, the undisputed Women's Champion, Youngblood. These two have the rivalry that goes back to April last year, the same night that Alex Young won the undisputed Champion of Champions and started his long that can kind of word is terrifying. This reign of terror as the Undisputed Champions on that same night. Giannis, who was the Women's United States Champion, went up against Youngblood to try to win the Defendence Women's Champion offer, and from that moment, history started. That moment, it was just two friends having a friendly bout for the Defendence Women's Champion. Let's skip ahead to Inferno War last year, directly after War Games, when Team Giannis won, and after everyone left the ring, it was still Giannis and Youngblood left in the ring, and Youngblood turned heel. She showed the true devil that is within her, and she asked to lower the cage back down, and she used it as a weapon to knock out Giannis. So because of that, she made it crystal clear as well that at New Year's Bash 2023, in the main event for the Undisputed Women's Champion, it was going to be between the Devil, Youngblood, and the Golden Ace, Giannis. And on that date, Youngblood won the Women's Champion by dominating and destroying Giannis in a last woman standing match. When we fast forward to 2024, Youngblood laid out an open contract. Giannis not having a great 2024, let's be honest. That's not been a great year for Giannis, but it's been a fantastic year for Youngblood. She's dominating everyone. She even won. Mind you, it ended up in a draw, but she retained the champion nonetheless. It's like a 5-woman Falls Count Anywhere Iron Woman match. She defeated the Tundra TakeOver winner back in February in Rhea Ripley in a Battle of Australia. And she defeated Dakota Kai in a submissions match that she begged for, but she defeated her nonetheless. Very fast, Giannis won the open contract. That from 1 and 8 months later, after main eventing New Year's Bash, these two are main eventing WrestleMania once again, as they are in the history books as the first ever 2-time women's main event. Youngblood main event against Becky Lynch, and she won the Defendence Women's Champion in her first WrestleMania. Giannis defeated Becky Lynch to defend the Defendence Women's Champion and Women's United States Champion last year. But this year, they're both in the main event once again, but this time the tides have turned. For the first time, Giannis is heading into WrestleMania to try to win gold, and Youngblood is heading into WrestleMania to try to defend gold. As the trilogy comes to a close tonight, we're going to find out who holds the edge over the other one. Is it the Golden Ace that has the Devil's number, or is it the Devil that holds the advantage over a so-called Golden Ace? And if you're Giannis, one thing to watch out for is that Devil's Reckoning. Because once Youngblood locked that in at New Year's Bash, Giannis tapped out immediately. And every time Youngblood locked it in throughout the year, her opponent tapped out immediately as well. But Giannis has a submission of her own, and it's the 13 takeover, and she has knocked off a lot of opponents in her past with the 13 takeover as well. Now these two going back and forth, and they know each other so well, and they know what's on the line here. It's the Undisputed Women's Champion. Youngblood wants to continue her reign and go even further of dominating the women's division, as Giannis wants to make history and be the first ever two-time undisputed women's champion. She can do that just now, but no, Youngblood kicks out before the 1 count. Again, these two carrying each other move for move. There's the history between these two factions. Oh, Youngblood's not really in a faction anymore, but she's friends with Alex Young, and that's and so if she's friends with Alex Young, then she's friends with the Eccentrics. Even though the Eccentrics hasn't crossed paths as a faction for faction with the CWO yet. But you know it's there. It's coming. And with the common ground between the two teams is AJ Danger. You know it's coming down the line. And both these two made their names on the independent scene. Giannis came in and started trailblazing and changing the game for women's wrestling in NTT as Youngblood came right on in and started dominating everyone. And ever since she left Rising Evil with AJ Danger and Alex Young, she became a whole new superstar, a whole new competitor in general. As it was clear that AJ Danger was holding her back. Giannis with the blood money! Onto Youngblood, stealing her own move against her. Cover 1, 2, and now Youngblood kicks out of the blood money! She kicks out of her own move. Giannis, knowing Youngblood's finisher, the blood money knocks people out unconscious. And especially if it's performed the right way. But it seems like Giannis didn't get the grip that Youngblood usually gets on them in order to get that 3 count. But Youngblood, well, she's pissed off now that she had her own move used against her. Now, body slamming her away from the corner, going back to the middle rope and splashing onto the Golden Ace. She's picking her moment. A cheap right forearm connects and a suplex. Nope, bridges her up and a neck breaker onto Giannis. Youngblood, ever since eating that blood money, she is on a rampage right now and not allowing Giannis to get anything going. Going for the springboard moonsault and it connects onto Ace cover to win, to keep the women's champion, but no, Giannis kicks out of 2. Picks up Giannis and goes for blood money connects onto Giannis. Cover 1, 2, no! Giannis digs down deep and she kicks out of the blood money. She digs down deep. She wants to win the Undisputed Women's Champion at any means necessary. She wants to make history. She went deep down trying to activate that second wind and stay in this matchup. She gets right back up and brings Youngblood back down to the mat. Now, Giannis trying to dodge. Trying to dodge Youngblood. Youngblood trying to dodge Giannis. As both of them know, once the other one starts going, it can be hard to come back. But now Giannis rolls to the outside. And Youngblood taunting Giannis. And now she goes diving to the springboard to the outside and misses. And Giannis just attacking the god in the face of the devil. Ref trying to get them back in the ring, because the only way this match can, or really the only way this title can change hands is by pinfall submission. Ref's at a 3 count now. 4, and Giannis just watching Youngblood. Youngblood taking a few minutes to recover, and she connects Bailey with a unique suicide dive, taking the head of Youngblood and whipping it to the side. But Youngblood comes right back, is with that suicide dive. The ref has to restart his count. So, and Youngblood using the announce table as a weapon. Running it back to the last woman standing match. Sorry, not the last woman standing match. Their street fight. Alex Young was in the last man standing. To the street fight at New Year's Bash, and both of them missed their attack there. Young Ace has something planned, going for the Red Dragon, but Youngblood seeing it coming. She knew it was coming, and going for the Psychic's Nightmare. Connects onto Young Ace. As Robin up, Blood Money connects onto Young Ace. Hest hooks the leg, crosses the hooks the arms, and the Devil's Reckoning is locked in. Center of the ring. Young Ace trying to fight it, but she had it locked in too damn tight, and Youngblood is walking out of the main event of WrestleMania with the undisputed Women's Championship. As the Devil retains and continues her reign of terror.